Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. It is the 2nd of June, 2026, as I'm recording this, exactly 11 months to the day that the only person who was ever arrested, charged with having anything to do with the crimes at 1122 King Road, that being Brian C. Kohberger, stood up in open court and pled guilty. However, the case of Idaho versus Kohberger was an extraordinarily sealed case, with so many documents under seal on top of a gag order and also multiple hearings that were held behind closed doors. Judge Stephen J. Hippler announced a process where he would be looking at a few months at a time, beginning with the end of the case and working backwards, and then deciding if documents would be unsealed to the public. And that seemed to work for a few months. He issued a first order dealing with documents from June and July of 2025, and then shortly thereafter, he unsealed those documents. Others remained sealed, and he gave the reasons why. Then there was a second order, and that dealt with the months of April and May of 2025. Shortly thereafter, there were documents from April and May that were unsealed to the public. The ones that remained sealed, Judge Hippler gave an explanation why. For some reason, the snag was hit when it came to the third order, the unsealing of documents from January, February, and March of 2025. On December 18th, 2025, Judge Hippler ordered the unsealing of dozens upon dozens of documents from January, February, and March of 2025. And for some reason, there's been a problem in the timeliness of unsealing of those documents, in our opinion. February of 2026, one document from that group ordered to be unsealed was unsealed. That was the first time anything from January, February, and March of 2025 was unsealed. Then this week, there were more documents, not all, but several more from the months of January, February, and March that were unsealed. That happened over 2 days, including today. One document that remains sealed, the expert witness reports. Judge Hippler entered an order back on October 9th of 2024, directing that the defense's guilt phase expert witness reports were due to be filed by January 23rd, 2025. And if you go to January 23rd, 2025, you will see that Judge Hippler unsealed today the defense listing of who their defense experts were, including Cy Ray and Dr. Brent Turvey. And then there were exhibits that were attached to their names. If we look at the October 9th order, it appears that that would have been perhaps a curriculum vitae, a report, because those items were due January 23rd. So where are the exhibits? Still under seal. We know that because if we look at a second document from January 23rd, 2025, it's a stipulation signed by Ashley Jennings for the prosecution and Ann Taylor for the defense, asking the court to seal yet another group of documents from the public, that being all of the exhibits to the defense experts, including presumably the reports. That's still under seal today. Dr. Brent Turvey has stated that he has concerns about the timeline of the crimes that the state of Idaho alleged occurred. He believes that more than one perpetrator was involved and that more than one weapon was involved. And where would the details be to support those theories? In that expert report. Same with Cy Ray. He gave reports regarding AT&T timing advance records. He said what the state had proffered was incorrect. Where is his report with the backup for all of that information? Again, all of the expert witness reports appear to still be under seal. In this long closed case, and the rhetorical question that we must ask is why? We're going to continue to monitor this situation, provide you with updates as they occur. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.